Well, looking at New South Wales, I see you've got your post-lockdown haircut ready to roll, and you're obviously focusing on trying to get some of those businesses up and running as well. How's it going? Just a day and a half or so in, are there any major concerns you have about how the reopening process is going so far?
Yeah, look, the people of New South Wales and in particular Sydney have done an incredible job over the last day. I mean, I think they've shown the same determination and courage that they've exhibited over the last 15 weeks, over the last 24 hours. So 93% of people in a place like Blacktown have received at least one dose of the vaccination. So people in Sydney really rolled their sleeves up and got on with it over the last 2 months. And they're showing that sense of common sense and decency for retail workers and restaurateurs and cafe owners, going back, spending their money and treating everybody with decency. So I'm really encouraged with what we've seen over the last 24 hours, and I'm confident it will continue because people in this state genuinely want to get back to normal life and seeing their family and friends and going out and enjoying themselves.
How worried are you about the issues of compliance? Earlier today on Sky News, we had an interview with New South Wales Police who were talking about how they're not going to be going into bars and restaurants and asking people to flash their vaccination certificates and do any sort of police-led compliance on that front. It really does leave it up to the businesses to have to do that themselves. There are some tricky issues there, aren't there, that could lead to some, clients or visitors or patrons turning up when they shouldn't. That could put proprietors in difficult positions.
Yeah, that certainly can, and I've spoken to businesses over the last 15 weeks that wanted very clear rules and procedures in place before the opening took place, and obviously it's a concern for them because they've got to rebuild. I think that the New South Wales government has to understand that if you've closed your business for 15 weeks, it's not as simple as opening up your front door and turning on the light. In order to rebuild your customer base, it takes a lot of effort, time to bring those people back in. So it will be a difficult period over the next few weeks for businesses in particular to navigate the restrictions that are in place for vaccinated and unvaccinated Australians. But from what I've seen over the last 24 hours, people have done an amazing job in relation to that, and businesses in particular have been very responsible in checking vaccination status and QR codes for signing in. One of the problems we've also had, Ashley, is that the vaccine passport promised by the New South Wales government was not in place for Monday's Freedom Day, and I think that would have made the transition that much easier for many, many people.
Chris Minns, appreciate your time. Enjoy the newfound sense of freedom that you have there in New South Wales. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ashley. All the best.